The Wednesday Night War is about to begin as the WWE launches a preemptive strike by airing NXT 2 weeks before AEW debuts its AEW Dynamite show on TNT. Dynamite? Where did that come from? Well, more on that later, but join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at your NXT recap for 18th September 2019, as well as the latest wrestling news, including SmackDown's ratings, a new Raw announced team, a SmackDown special leading up to Fox debut, and Brock Lesnar sightings. Let's get straight into the recap, as NXT is coming from you from its longtime home at Florida's Full Sail University. Nigel McGuinness, Beth Phoenix, and Mauro Ranallo are all calling the action. Triple H talks about how things can change in the blink of an eye. NXT isn't the future, it's the now. The show opens up with a fatal four-way match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Candice LeRae goes up against Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Mia Yim. Candice executes a reverse Frankensteiner, followed by a Cadabra on Mia Yim for the victory. Candice LeRae is the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. After the match, NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler squares up to her and sticks the belt in her face. Adam Cole stands with his Undisputed Era teammates as Undisputed Era member Roderick Strong prepares to face Velveteen Dream. If Strong wins, the Undisputed Era will hold all the men's gold in NXT. There's a hype video for Keith Lee vs Dominik Dijakovic, who will compete next week. Mauro Ranallo talks up tonight's street fight between Killian Dane and Matt Riddle, and a hype video follows. Cameron Grimes vs Sean Maluda, as Maluda charges at Grimes who isn't playing. Pop-up stomp, and Grimes wins the bout. There's a video recap on how Strong got his match with Dream after he burnt Velveteen's couch. Dream promises Strong if he burns, so will Strong. There's a hype video for Damian Priest, and after that, the North American Championship match is up next, with champion Velveteen Dream taking on Roderick Strong. There's lots of pressure on Strong as he's the only Undisputed Era member without a title. Strong sees the Undisputed Era members show up late in the match, giving Strong more than moral support. After Dream accidentally hits the referee, Strong's teammates lend a hand, or in Adam Cole's case a super kick, and Strong lands the end of Heartache on Dream for the win. Roderick Strong is the new North American champion. The Undisputed Era celebrate with all 4 championships. NXT then moves to the WWE Network for Hour 2. An announcement is made that Candice LeRae will meet Shayna Baszler on 2nd October for the women's title. Next up, Arturo Ruah vs Pete Dunne. Dunne targets Arturo's hand throughout the match, eventually applying a triangle and cranking on his hand for the submission. Another hype video airs, this time for the return of Dakota Kai. Next up, a one-on-one women's match, as Aaliyah with Vanessa Bourne goes up against Xia Li. Xia grabs the win after a tornado kick clobbers Aaliyah. Denzel Dejournay heads for the ring to battle Kushida, but there's a run-in by members of the Imperium who beat down Dejournay. NXT UK champion Volta joins in and declares the NXT ring to be sacred, and anyone who disrespects it will answer to the Imperium and their war general, i.e. Volta. Kushida begs to differ and runs in, cleaning house before making his escape. Afterwards, we learn Kushida has issued a challenger to Volta. Next up, a number 1 contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship, as Leo Rush takes on Oney Lorcan. Rush gets the Duke after hitting the Frog Splash, and he's now the number 1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. And the main event, a street fight between Killian Dane and Matt Riddle. Things heat up when the Imperium get involved, attacking Riddle. Jackson Riker attacks Riddle, but Dane stops him. Soon the locker room empties and it's a ballroom blitz as the Forgotten Sons, the Street Profits, Pete Dunne and Dominik Dijakovic brawl with the Imperium as security joins in. It results in a no contest. So what did we think of the premiere NXT show on the USA Network? Well, let's look at the good, the bad and the downright ugly. Let's start up with the good, as number 1, solid wrestling. Although new viewers likely didn't recognize most of NXT's stars, they did get some outstanding wrestling from the Yellow Brand's men and women. Fans interested in work rate and high spots must have felt like they came to the right place. However, as we'll see, NXT offered a lot more. As number 2, lots of action. Tonight's show made it clear NXT is focusing on the in-ring product rather than the flash associated with Raw and SmackDown. Nonetheless, fans want more than high spots and technical bouts. Clearly NXT is different than Raw and SmackDown, but tonight it also provided some traditional brawling and beatdowns when the Imperium jumped Denzel DeJournette only for Kushida to make the save and clean house. The Imperium's later involvement into the main event was a spectacular finish to the show, hopefully grabbing the fans' attention. Number 3. A surprise return. Lio Rush fans were pleasantly surprised to see Rush return to WWE television, defeating Oney Lorcan for a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship. While Rush's work as Bobby Lashley's hype man was well received, his backstage heat led to talk he might be out of the WWE. Hopefully, Rush has resolved his issues with the WWE and fans can look forward to seeing him compete in the ring. And number 4, a promising storyline. With NXT UK's Imperium running an invasion angle on the yellow brand, fans have to wonder how well NXT will handle an invasion angle as compared to main roster failures such as the 2001 invasion angle and the Nexus invasion. So far, it looks promising and it has the hook of fans never knowing when the invaders will strike. But that was the good. What about the bad? As number 1, half a program. The WWE made the ridiculous move of airing 1 hour on NXT on the USA Network and the second hour on the WWE Network. The USA Network's popular show Suits is wrapping up its final season and USA chose to air it instead of hour 2 of NXT. While the WWE was wise in airing NXT ahead of AEW, it should have made this a 1 hour episode. Number 2, too many hype videos. It's understandable that NXT wanted to spend time introducing fans to wrestlers in and out of the ring, hence its heavy use of hype videos. However, it seemed like NXT was trying to squeeze too much into a 2-hour show. In NXT's defense, tonight's episode introduced new viewers to many of the promotion's top names and bigger storylines. That's an accomplishment NXT should be proud of. However, they simply overdid it with the hype videos, seemingly failing to realize or accept that the fans aren't going to recognize the entire roster stars for at least a few weeks, so why confuse them? And number 3, where's my network? As foolish as the WWE's decision to air NXT's second hour on the WWE Network was, the company compounded the problem thanks to the WWE Network glitching up again. Fans reported difficulties tuning in to watch NXT, the recent in a spell of network problems including accessing pay-per-views. The WWE needs to fix the WWE Network immediately, as this was another black eye for a promotion dealing with a potentially serious competitor. In fact, the issues were so bad that the WWE was forced to make an apology. They issued a statement afterwards saying, "You may have experienced a technical issue with WWE Network earlier this evening. The matter has been resolved and you can now access the network and watch tonight's episode of NXT on demand. We apologize for any inconvenience." It might have been too little too late as fans had gone to bed by that point. In conclusion, the stars of NXT should take a bow for putting on one spectacular debut episode on USA. The content was a good start for the yellow brand, and if the WWE can form a rapport between the stars of NXT and the WWE Universe, they have a chance of keeping WWE fans from switching to TNT when AEW Dynamite debuts. But that was the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Fortunately again, there was no ugly. Let's move on to the news, as our first news looks at SmackDown ratings. PW Insider's Dave Shearer reported a slight increase in the Blue Brand's ratings for the 17th September show, noting, SmackDown Live brought in 2.064 million overnight viewers, up from last week's 2.061 million overnight viewers. This isn't much of an increase, particularly following a pay-per-view. Next up, a new Raw announce team? The WWE is shifting its announce teams around, with the latest move apparently involving an all-new announce team for Raw. According to WrestleVotes, I've been told that the plans as of now for Raw's announce team is Vic Joseph and Dio Madden. Vic Joseph and Dio Madden are commentators for 205 Live, and Madden wrestled on NXT. This is a bold move as Renee Young is rumored to be hosting the WWE's upcoming Tuesday night studio show on Fox Sports 1, while Corey Graves and Michael Cole are expected to head to SmackDown. What this means for Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton remains to be seen, but nothing has been confirmed just yet. Our next story, fans are hating on the new AEW name. While AEW won't debut its TNT show until 2nd October, the promotion has released the show's name AEW Dynamite, well, at least to cable providers. According to Ringside News, AEW hasn't confirmed the name, but it's showing up on cable providers' listings for 2nd October. Rumour has it that AEW will air a 2-hour preview show on October 1st titled Countdown to All Elite Wrestling Dynamite. Many fans didn't like the name though, with one feeling that AEW is trying to be WCW 3.0. He mentioned on Twitter, "Wait, is AEW really gonna call it Dynamite? I thought that was always fans' fantasy booking. We made jokes that TNA was WCW 2.0 for a decade, but at least TNA didn't just straight up copy everything WCW. Guys, they had 6 good years. It's been 2 decades since. Move on." We've kinda known for a few months that AEW was gonna name it thanks to the trademark, and in all honesty, it's not that bad. Would those fans prefer it be called AEW Great Balls of Fire instead? SmackDown specials leading up to Fox debut. Fox Sports issued a press release detailing 2 specials airing prior to SmackDown's debut on Fox. Here are some highlights from the press release. A pair of hour-long WWE specials lead the charge, beginning with WWE SmackDown's Greatest Hits on Friday, September 27th on Fox. Hosted by WWE superstars Charlotte Flair and The Miz, the show highlights the most memorable moments from the storied franchise. On Sunday, September 29th, John Cena narrates WWE WrestleMania's legendary moments, offering viewers a chance to relive the most spectacular WrestleMania moments from the past 35 years. The press release also notes SmackDown's Fox debut will feature blue carpet arrivals and backstage access to celebrities and athletes, as well as past and present WWE superstars to kick off the new era of WWE on Fox. And our last story today, Brock Lesnar sightings. The once elusive predator known as Brock Lesnar has been making more appearances as of late, but sightings are still considered rare, somewhere between a Bigfoot sighting and a Zack Ryder win. Ouch. Nonetheless, Lesnar is being advertised for the 30th September episode of Raw and the 15th November episode of SmackDown. But there you have it guys, your NXT recap for the show's USA premiere, the good, the bad and the damn right ugly, as well as the latest wrestling news. Did you watch the show, and if yes, what did you think of it? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.